The next piece of evidence we're going to look at for the Big Bang is cosmic microwave background radiation, or cmbr for short. And this was actually discovered by accident. There was a couple of people who were working for Bell Laboratories who had put a satellite up into space, and they wanted to communicate with this satellite. So they were building this big kind of radio telescope, or well, microwave telescope, that could kind of pick up signals from that, and it looked kind of like a big, um, I don't know, like one of those things people used to put up to their ears if they were hard of hearing. It's a little bit more curved like that than that, and they could rotate it round and spin it so it could look up at the skies, and it was meant to pick up signals from a satellite way up to space. Okay, not the scale. So they built this, and before they started getting any signals from the satellite, they wanted to make sure it was all working correctly. So what they did is they pointed it to a bit of space that was completely empty. Okay, no stars or anything else that should be giving off any signals. Pointed there, took a test, and what they discovered was they were still getting a signal. They were getting noise on their line. Um, they then pointed it somewhere else where there shouldn't be anything. Tested again, same signal. They were getting some sort of signal from space that, or some reading from there that they didn't expect. Pointed it all over the place, and we're getting this strange signal. Probably thought they hadn't put the telescope together properly, so they checked all the connections, all the meters that were taking those readings. Still got the same signal. They then noticed that there was pigeons roosting in the telescope here. So they had some pigeons in there. And what they did was they thought, okay, well maybe it's a pigeon. How can I put this nicely? Poop. That is causing this. So they took the pigeons, took them away, cleaned out all the poop, took readings again, same signal. The pigeons, being pigeons, flew back in again. They eventually had to shoot the pigeons. Cleaned out the telescope again, took readings, same signal, and they could not work out what was producing this. So what they did was they said, okay, we've got this reading, we can't understand it, so what we'll do is we'll describe it. We'll write a scientific paper putting together our apparatus. What we did, here's our results, we don't know what this is, and they published it. Now, they hadn't really discovered anything at that stage, apart from some unknown signal, so it wasn't picked up by any of the big scientific journals and kind of floated around for a little while, being mainly unread. Meanwhile, in another part of America, there was a mathematician doing calculations. What he was looking at was the Big Bang Theory, and he said, okay, if our universe is this temperature now and has this much energy, if you went back in time when it was smaller and smaller and smaller and more compressed, where it's hotter and hotter and hotter, hot things emit electromagnetic waves. What electromagnetic waves would have been emitting back then? And would we be able to detect them now? And he worked out that shortly after the Big Bang, it would have been emitting gamma rays, and they would be now so stretched by the expansion of the universe that they should be sending out a microwave signal, and it should be this intense. This should be the amplitude of the wave that you detect. And he published his calculations and what he said people should expect to find. And it was by a complete fluke someone had read those two papers and was able to put one and one together and get to that the radiation that this person has predicted using the Big Bang Theory has been detected by these people using this telescope. And none of the other theories that are around for the creation of our universe, and I'm talking scientific theories now, cannot explain cosmic microwave background radiation. There was lots of other theories apart from the Big Bang trying to explain redshift, but they can't explain this. So key thing is that you learn off not the year or the names or anything like that, but learn off the actual name of the cosmic microwave background radiation. You don't have to worry about Arnold Penzias and Robert Wilson. Key thing is this. I would learn off this last one. Okay, it's very hard to explain without getting into A-level physics, but cosmic microwave background radiation is essentially the echo left over from when the universe was very hot, just after the Big Bang Theory. And it's that sentence that is important. If you were asked in an exam, give a piece of evidence for the Big Bang Theory, you can talk about cmbr or you can talk about galactic redshift. I would tend to talk about galactic redshift because I think it's easier for you to understand, and I think there's more to explain to it, so you're more likely to get more marks.